The Investec Dash comes next, and it really is blink and you'll miss it stuff. The straight 1,000 metres is the fastest anywhere around. It really is one gulp for the horse and off they go. A great cavalry charge. It's a great spectacle. Not always that easy to find the winner, but hopefully we'll be doing that. And to guide us there, let's have a look at the last 10 winners. Now, one name you've got to look at is the 2014 winner and the 2016 and 17 winner, that being Caspian Prince, but pretty uniquely, he's done it 3 times. He lines up again for his 4th, by the way, but he's done it 3 times for 3 different trainers. Tony Carroll, Dean Ivory and then Tony Coyle. And on Saturday, he will line up in the hands, or trained by, Mick Appleby. So he's looking for his 4th win. We've got the 2013 winner, Duke of Firenze, who took it way back from stall number 17. Now, he's running 6 years on. He's a grand old campaigner. He's in great form as well. So it's a really good race to have a little bit of nostalgia, because these sprinters are around for a long time and it's good to see some of the old boys lining up once again. What about the trends? As I pointed out, you'll find a few recent winners in there, but in terms of the price, only one favourite has won in the past 10 running. 7 of the last 10 were 11 to 1 or bigger. It really is a value race if you can find the winner. And in terms of draw, 6 of the last 10 winners have come from a double-figure draw. But that said, we've had stall 1 win it, we've had high draws, we've had low draws. It doesn't always correlate, perhaps, with the year before. So that's a couple of trends over the last 10 years from the Dash. I'm going to just pick out a couple of names here, because there are plenty of runners, indeed 20 run, headed by the 3-time winner, Caspian Prince. Copper Knight's been in good form. Muthmere, a former classy horse, that one. So too Blue de Vega. Duke of Firenze, down the bottom there, the mount of Nathan Evans, who bids for a hat-trick. E-by Gum, fancied by a few people, is in there. Handicap, though, that horse could really be anything. The Irish Raider, ridden by Rory Cleary. Dark Shot, indeed, who will break from stall number 9. That horse, he went off favourite for last year's race. And talking of last year's race, let's have a good look at it. It was won by Tanasok, and as you'll see, an absolute cavalry charge. Caspian Prince, it wasn't his year last year. He usually wins it, but he was 13th. Duke of Firenze out the back. He was 6th. Dark Shot, who was prominent, he was favourite and very well fancied, was 5th. In behind that one, you can see there, 4th was Blue de Vega. And a horse who we'll come on to in just a few moments' time, in the yellow cap with the yellow stripe, that is the locally trained Just That Lord, who I've got a sneaking fancy for this time around. But Tanasok had to do plenty indeed to win this. Loads of scrimmaging, as you'd expect. Positioning is very, very key, but it's also the test of a balanced horse. The horse, of course, who can travel at great speeds, as these 5-year-olds, as these 5-furlong horses, these 1,000-metre horses often can. And you do get the veterans winning it. Just That Lord, just swallowed up late on in the piece there by Tanasok, and indeed Pettick side, as you'll see, storming down the near side. They don't always necessarily do that. Just grabbing Just That Lord for 2nd. So Just That Lord was 3rd last year. What we'll do is have a look at the leading fancy this time around. He's the Irish Raider, and this is Handicap. He only won the other day at the Curragh. They're turning him out again quickly, but the backstory of this horse is fascinating. He's beautifully bred. He raced a few times in the UK in 2016. He then missed a long time and was picked up by for a very small amount by his new connections. And it might just be that this beautifully bred horse, who hasn't had that much racing, is really finding his stride. He's won his last couple. He's very well in at the weights. He could prove an absolute class above these. He could prove a group class animal. And for that very reason, it's expected that he's going to run very well indeed. Just look at the way he's won there. He's won that. You don't often see sprints won with the jockey being able to just ease down and give the horse a congratulatory pat. But it might just be that Handicap is going to prove on a different level to these on Saturday. We'll find out. But one thing I'm going to be doing, as I said to you earlier, was find out horses who have had good form and do run well over this track and trip. And this fella, who we saw finishing 3rd in last year's renewal, is Just That Lord. And he's running here on Saturday off a similar preparation. He won at Epsom in April. He's had a good break. And then he goes into this pretty fresh. He's off a £1 higher mark than he was last year. That didn't stop him finishing a fine 3rd. And in terms of his record over the 1,000 metres at Epsom, His 4 runs over the track and trip have yielded form figures of 2, 3, 3, 1. He doesn't know how to run a bad race. It would be a very popular, locally trained winner in Epsom. John Egan takes the ride aboard the horse, the veteran jockey who gets on well with him. The last time he rode him was 3rd in that very race last year. So I really think Just That Lord is set up to run a storming race. My Quinella will be the dark horse, Hathik, who really could prove anything, and I certainly think he'll run very well indeed. And also Just That Lord. They're my 2 for the Investec Dash.